Hey guys, I'm Jackie Brubaker, your host of That Girl the Podcast. I'm an author, performer, 2-time Emmy Award winner, human relationship specialist, and founder of the wellness website loveyouevenmore.com. Each week I bring on inspiring people and experts in their field to have powerful, motivational, and enlightened conversations about relationships, self-development, and how you can live your most authentic life. Follow us for daily updates on myself and the podcast at That Girl the Podcast and at Jackie Brubaker on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and our Patreon page. While you're at it, make sure to check out my new wellness website, loveyouevenmore.com. If you're wanting to dig into developing more self-worth, be healthier about relationships, and learn how to date smarter, go to loveyouevenmore.com and follow us on Instagram at loveyouevenmore. Hey guys, it's Jackie Brubaker, host of That Girl the Podcast. And yep, I'm doing a solo podcast again. I'm even recording it. So while I talk to you, I'm looking at myself in the camera, which is not awkward at all. So today I wanted to talk about kids and wanting to have kids or not wanting to have kids or not sure if they want their own children or not. I just had an amazing podcast with Emily Lauren Berg she's the CEO of the app Hey Baby, which is an app that is geared for people who either have kids and are looking for people who also have kids or people who want to have children. And so we were talking, and at the end of it, I had said, I have never had children. I am not opposed to having kids. I would absolutely have my own if it was with the right person at the right time. But I'm also feeling like I could be a killer stepmom. And I've actually always felt that because I had a stepmom and I kind of learned what that looks like, especially as a child. You learn what works and what doesn't. And I just, was like, I think this would be nice. Or I'm like, or I might never have kids and that's okay too. Like, it's all good. And she said that I should talk about this. And I think sometimes when we're living that life of, this is how I feel, these are my beliefs, we don't think that we need to talk about it. But I'm going to talk about it today because I think this is an area that isn't talked about enough with women. And it's really shameful because the single, so I'm a unicorn. I have never been married and I have no children. And I'm a badass. So ta-da. But there's a lot of stigma that still exists right now that if you are of a certain age, if you are a woman, if you have never been married, and if you don't have children, something is inherently wrong with you. And while there might be people who there is something wrong with them and they definitely need to be in therapy and do a little bit more work, I'm literally in therapy and I'm a psychology student. So I'm very deep in the psychology world all the time. And I've done a lot of work on myself. So it's not so much what's wrong with me. In my world, it's more so I'm looking for the right person who matches me, who we're at the same level and we can connect. And that's hard to find as for all of us who are doing the work, it is harder and harder to find a person who is at that level and at your level. So thus, I have not settled. I have had many long-term relationships, probably marriage type relationships that just didn't have the paper. And it's been great. But I always knew that if I was going to have a child with someone, it was going to be with the right person, since my parents had a disastrous divorce. It was really horrible. It lasted 4 years. Part of it even lasted well into my 20s. It was just a mess. And so clearly I didn't want to go through that, but I especially never wanted to put a child through that. Now my parents feel terrible about what they did and it's all good, but still I was like, sorry, I am not having a kid if it's not with the right person. So that's part of this discussion, is that there are people, and we'll say men too, but I'll just speak to my women. There are women who are super successful, are doing the work on themselves, are ready for love, are ready to have a child or maybe not have a child, but they're being choosy because they don't want to go through extra pain or they don't want to go through any pain. And that's part of my story, is that I know what that feels like as a child of severe divorce, how damaging it is. And I'm not, I don't know, I'm not terrified of that happening, because at this point, I would never marry someone who was so wrong for me. Sorry, parents, but you're probably not listening. But, so I'm not expecting that to happen. I would expect if I did get married and had a child and had a divorce, it would be very amicable and we would be great co-parenters. But, we can't assume anything. But I would assume that at this point, I would know how to pick the right person. Thus is what he doesn't exist yet. He is coming. I know he's around here. Maybe it's a girl. Who knows? I'm open. But I want to just say, like, I want to give this perspective because, on dating apps, as Emily and I were talking about, it's like there are a lot of women who are at a certain age and their biological clock is ticking and they're like, I just want to have a baby. I just want to have a baby, and it can be a real turnoff to men who are like, yeah, I just want to make sure you're like, cool. Could we go on a few dates? Yeah, I think I might want to have kids, but I don't know if it's with you. I don't know. There's just a ton of pressure. And it's also the pressure of like, you just want to be honest because you're done playing all these stupid games of I'll be coy and not tell him exactly what I want, which is marriage and kids and like to stay at home and all of that. Like, I won't say that. And like, if that's your choice, shit, go get that. Literally go get that. Or maybe it's, I want to get married, have a kid. I still want to work and be in my, badass career that I've created and juggle it and make it work. It's going to be hard, but that's what I want. That's more me. And, it's a little complicated, right? But as a woman who could really go either way with having kids or not having kids or being a stepmom, I just want to like highlight this as we're sort of the third option, right? We're the women who are like, we're not, oh, I've got to have kids, or, oh, nope, I definitely don't want to have kids. We're in the middle and we do exist. And it's always refreshing. I have found that when you tell someone that you're dating or have gone on a first date with, like, yeah, like I could go either way with having kids, it like instantly takes the pressure off. Now, I'm not saying this is advice or anything like that. I'm just saying in my experience, this is what's actually worked. And that's good because that's my truth, right? Like that's what I'm actually genuinely wanting. But I also, maybe for any stigma too, if you are thinking that, again, we talked about what's wrong with her? It's not that always. A lot of times as someone gets older, they just get better and they're like, I don't really want to start from scratch with a baby. That seems really hard. And I kind of want to enjoy the rest of my life. Like, or sometimes they're like, no, I have lived so much of my life. I want to start from scratch with a baby. I'm ready to give and be in the trenches of babiness, which is very hard. And it's just a matter of what is right for you. And if you are encountering someone like this, who's, the yes or the no or the maybe, to be considerate and to not judge maybe, or, but really just to listen and listen to them. Now, here's the other thing too. I was dating someone and, I was saying like, I really want to be graduated from grad school before I have kids. And he was like, well, we're going to be this age by that time if you were to start now. And that just seems really old. And I'm like, but it's not. But anyway, I obviously did not stay with this person. So we're all good there. But it was an interesting thought of timelines. And the thing we always hear is, kids do not come on time unless you're literally doing IVF, right? It is just not in your control. It happens usually when you're not prepared or you're not ready. And as ready as we all want to be, we want to be like, no, I've done all the work. I'm super smart and I'm healthy and I'm emotionally intelligent and I'm ready to have a children. I've read all the baby books. Like I've done it all. Like I'm ready. Like you're never ready. You're just never ready. And I know that. I don't even have kids, at least not in this lifetime. part of me thinks in many, many lifetimes I've been a mother over and over again, which is why I could go either way at this point. I'm like, I don't know, travel the world with my partner, enjoying amazing food and location, or have a child. It's really, both are so beautiful, right? Like having a baby is one of the most incredible experiences you'll ever have in your life. To become a mother or a father, it's unlike anything you've ever experienced for most people, but again, it's not always necessary. So it's a short podcast, but basically I just wanted to talk about this and to just give you, if, you're on one side or the other, or maybe you're just like me and you're like, oh, wow, someone who sounds like me. That's so nice just to relate to, give you a different perspective and just let you know what it's like. And there's nothing wrong with it. And there's nothing wrong with any of us who are in the middle, who are just like, could go either way. We're just living our lives. And ultimately what it is for me, and maybe for others, is that I am looking for the love of my life. I am really looking for that sacred union with someone where together we are stronger. Together, we are the team that makes our lives beautiful. And honestly, that might be enough. And if it is enough and we don't need to have a child, or we don't feel compelled to do that together, that's fine. Or maybe we do feel compelled to do it, and then we do. But either way, life is all about, as my mom would say, she stole it from Oprah, but it's okay, Mom. Life is all about choices, and you get to make the choice you want. And, also with that, if someone feels that like, oh, I didn't get my choice, I wanted to have kids and it didn't happen for me, I want to just bring in too, something we talked on the podcast, is fostering children and adoption. Now, don't judge me, and I hope you don't, but I understand that children, human children, and, baby animals are not the same thing. So let me just preface the story. But when I did foster a litter of kittens, which my two cats, Blue and Ella, who I'm sure you guys know of at this point, I fostered them, and it was a beautiful experience because they were 5 weeks old when I brought them in. They were just off bottle feeding, and I raised them, and it was really no different than, fostering. Okay. It's not very different than a human. All right. I get it. But my point is that I fell in love with them, but I didn't birth them. I didn't give life to them. They found me, I found them, and we fell in love, and raising them has been amazing. And I loved it. And it really opened my eyes to, obviously, you can fall in love with people in your life that you didn't give birth to, like your partner or your best friends or your relatives. I know this is weird. Just go with me here. But like the idea of adoption to me is so not off the table, because I absolutely know that I could fall madly in love with a baby that needs to be adopted, that I could be the mom to. And then the timeline of, the biological clock gets to go away, and you can just have this perfect little baby who is yours, and you don't have to deal with the whole like, oh, but I'm too old or this or that or whatever, or I don't have the partner to do it with. You can just do it. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to go about this. And it just boils down to what is right for you. And if this is feeling right for you to adopt or foster, or to not have children, or to have your own biological children, or to step parent somebody else's children, man, if you just love kids, you will find a way to be a mom in some capacity. And I truly, truly believe that, because if you have the heart that is wanting to give love to others, you're already a maternal heart, right? That's what giving is. You're just giving love to others. So that's my quickie little podcast. I hope that made sense. It was just off the cuff, and I hope that may have cleared up some stuff for people listening, maybe some guys too, especially who are concerned with she just needs to have a baby, or I don't know, it feels really pressuring.
I hope that helps too, because we aren't all like that. And it's not that even if you are in that moment of like, oh, I really want to have a baby right now, there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to meet the person who wants that with you, Okay, that's my piece. All right, you guys, I hope you're doing well. I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. Remember, sharing is caring. Make sure to rate the podcast and leave a review. We really rely on this to help get the podcast out there. Also, make sure to watch the video version on YouTube at That Girl the Podcast.